Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mark Larish, and today we're going to talk about DV Lottery. The Green Card Lottery is about to start. It's October 2025, so in basically a few days, the registration will open. So in this video, I'll tell you everything you need to know about the Green Card Lottery. In the second part of the video, I will share my screen, help you fill out the form, and comment on every single point and question of the form itself. So if you're interested in that, you can jump in the time codes below. But first, let's answer the questions which everyone is concerned about. Is it happening this year? The answer is yes, it's confirmed. Donald Trump was heard speaking about possibly canceling DV lottery before, but in the United States, it's not that fast. Even if he issues a direct order to cancel it, Supreme Court may overrule it, so it's a bit complicated. So you should not be concerned for the coming years. But the one thing is for sure, they made it paid. But it's just $1, so it's still basically almost free. So $1 is to confirm your identity, so to speak, that you are a real applicant more than for anything else, because there's lots of fraudulent applications of the DV lottery visa. So for them, it's basically just to save their time. But first, let's move on step by step. What I suggest you to do is to do this whole form all by yourself. There's a lot of companies offering services for money. They can do it for you. But the whole idea of this application is that you do it yourself. You even sign at the end of it your name, signifying that you did it yourself. In the future, it might be a problem. It might not be. But I suggest you to do it yourself. It's very, very easy to do. I'll show in the second part of this video. If you do it yourself, you'll have a clear understanding of what it is and what to answer if you are selected. So $1 fee, how to pay, it should not be a problem. We don't have exact information as of right now, but it'll probably be just a card payment on the website, Visa, MasterCard, normal, typical bank card should do. Just make sure international payments are open in your banking app. So what about DV Lottery? What is it in the first place? Well, they initiated the program in 1990. The first draw happened in 1995. So it looks like it's been about 20 years of lotteries. Every single year, about 55,000 people are chosen for the DV Lottery. I'm actually a bit incorrect. It's about 130,000 people who are chosen, and only 55,000 people actually get the visas. Now, 55, this is the limit. So it cannot be any more than that. You have to keep that in mind. A lot of people, well, actually decline themselves that opportunity. In fact, sister of my wife won this lottery about 6 years ago. She had a husband at that time, and they decided not to go, not to proceed. They decided to stay because their life was where they were at the time. They were building careers, and I'm sure they're pretty happy about it. But they are not super active people in that sense. Some people really can't sit straight, like me, for example. I would definitely jump at any opportunity I can get, but some people prefer to build something substantial where they are and not just jumping around like me. But I guess it's up to you. So how's it going to work? Every October of every year, there is a DV lottery. This one is called DV 2027, even though today is 2025. That's more about the year you'll be able to come to United States, which is 2027, okay? You will be able to check your status in 2026 in May next year. As you understand, usually it's 2nd of May, you'll be able to check your results, but usually the website is down because millions of people around the world are trying to check the information, and it's not exactly easy. So just wait out a few days and you'll be able to check. It's no problem. It's important that you say the confirmation number. Well, there's been known cases where companies will charge you money to release this information to you if you're using some services, paid services to help you out with the form. Sometimes they may withhold the confirmation number and then sell it back to you in May next year. So this is why I'm suggesting you do this form all by yourself. It's not exactly complicated. If you plan to live in the United States, well, that's a complicated endeavor. So this form should not be a problem for you. Okay, if you are selected in May next year, then you have, by the way, you need to check it all by yourself. You will not get an email telling you that you won or you lost. They never do it. So you have to go to the website, put your confirmation number, and check it all for yourself. You'll get instructions if you are selected. It's not exactly complicated, but you need to collect a few documents. You need to do a medical exam and a visa interview. Yes, it's an interview. I personally hate interviews because they are subject to human nature. Sometimes you can be dependent on the fact that the officer didn't have coffee that morning, or yourself, maybe you feel a bit too stressed and nervous in high stakes environments, and that will be a high stakes interview. The whole future life will sort of be dependent on it. That's a big one. But I suggest you to keep calm. All you need to do is just to get ready. It's not complicated, but you need to prepare. You need to have clear answers to the questions. They have to match whatever you're going to put in that form. So don't lie. You're going to be okay. All right. So what about the speed? If you're selected, usually it takes about, well, in practice, about a year year and a half before you're able to come to the United States. Theoretically, it can be half a year if everything goes very quickly, but it really depends where you're from. There could be extra obstacles along your way. Some people need visa just to get out of their country. I'll give you an example. Uzbekistan, people, or men, need to get permission to leave the country and so on. It could be other quirks in your country, so you just need to know what you're doing and it should be fine. I'll give you a story right now of a good friend of mine. He is from Belarus. Originally, he won the green card about 4 years ago in 2021. That was a very interesting time because first we had COVID, so borders were closed, and second, Belarus at that time got sanctioned heavily because they landed the plane with a opposition leader, doesn't matter, whatever. Point is, he could not leave the country, and he needed to because he did not have U.S. embassy in the country at the time. Actually, it's still not there. So he needed to go with his wife. His wife is the one who wanted to Poland, and to go to Poland, he needed to get an extra visa, and to get an extra visa, he needed to go to Moscow. See, as you understand, it gets really complicated. And in his particular case, was COVID on top of that. So the bookings to the embassy was also delayed. My point is, do your steps as fast as possible in case there's some sort of emergency comes up and you will be late. So you have some leeway, some extra time on your hands when you do it. That is my point. Interesting fact about a friend of mine, he was a prison guard and his wife was active military personnel. So they are forbidden by the law in their country even to play the DV lottery, yet they did, they won, and they're in the United States right now in Seattle having a good time. Actually, they kind of hated it in the first place, but it's a different story. United States is a complicated, it's a tough country to live, to come to. So your problems will only start. But this is the point. You should not be afraid of those problems. Those are good problems. It will give you spiciness to your life. And that's the whole point, to come, to solve problems, to try to succeed, to build something, build a new life in a new place. There's something romantic about it. Right now, they are very successful, very happy about what they have going on. But you need to realize it all starts with the form. Do it by yourself. That's the simplest you can do. Don't pay someone to do it, because in the United States, you will not be able to afford to pay other people to do your things. Because if you're from India, Philippines, if you're from African country, Ghana, Nigeria, I'm saying these countries because those are the leaders in terms of issues of the visa. They have fierce competition. Actually, interesting fact, if you're from a country with smaller population, that means you have less competition because, well, they have a limit of 7% per country of visa issues. And if you're from a country with very low US immigration, you inherently have higher chance of winning. So something to think about, right? About 40% of people only selected out of 130,000 people which actually get this invitation to proceed when they are selected. In May next year, you'll be able to check that. In my next video, I will tell you exact steps and comment on every single point in the forum, how to do it. So if you're interested in that, you can go check that. But there's one thing you definitely need to keep in mind. Right in the first point in the forum, you need to put your name, your last name, and your patronymic name. If you don't have that patronymic name in your international passport, then do not put it there. It's weird, but there are instances when people put it there, but then we go to an interview, they're selected, and then disqualified because there's a mismatch of information. Is it weird? Absolutely. However, it is what it is. So you need to be really truthful in your answers. And in this video, I'm going to comment to you how to fill out application for green card lottery. In this particular case, DV 2027. That means this one for 2025. In just a few days, the entry will be open. So first thing to keep in mind, you only have to do it on the official website, dvprogram.state.gov. I do not recommend you to go and use any other services. There will be a lot of fakes around where they pretend to look like a similar website and then you put information in and they charge you money after. In certain instances, they will even apply for you on your behalf, but honestly, just go do it officially on a proper website. Like, one thing to keep in mind, from this year, the application is paid. It's just $1, so I don't think it's going to break your bank. So you'll be able to pay with your normal international card, Visa, MasterCard. They should work no problem at all. I don't think you'll have issues unless you're from Russia and sanctioned. In this case, you need to use ideally a card from another country like Georgia or Azerbaijan or whatever you're able to get. Okay, I don't recommend you to use other people's cards if you don't have yours. Sometimes it's important that your name is matching your application. We don't have official information on this particular question yet, but when you're renting a car, they kind of want you to have the same name and they won't give you the car if it's not. Sometimes hotels ask for it and I'm not sure, but they might. So point is, if you can, just do it. Once again, that's the official website. That is how it looks like. As you can see, as of 11th of October, right now, we don't have the application open yet. But when it does, you'll have a button right here in the center, and it will be called DV Lottery 2027. This one was for 2024 last year. People were applying, and usually that signifies the year they will actually come to United States. So maybe that's why they're thinking here. So once again, you're looking for the one which is 2027. Right now, you can go check your status if you won or not for 2026 entry, but well, it should not concern you as of right now. By the way, usually on May 3rd, you know the results, but this website is pretty much dead for the first few days. A lot of people are checking this information, so you have to know what you're doing, okay? Just wait out a few days and you'll be able to check this information absolutely no problem. And again, you don't need to pay anyone to do that unless, except for this just $1 to American government. But again, so well, that's a new addition they put for this year, for 2027 lottery, 2025 year. Okay, so you'll see the button here, and then we will have similar interface to this one. This is an official PDF which I downloaded from the official travel.state.gov website. So it's all official information. That's exactly honestly how it looks like. It's not a cutting edge, beautiful, full of graphics website. It's very basic CV in a way. In my previous video, I told you have to be very important about your patronymic or middle name. If you don't have that in your international passport, do not put there. Weirdly, there are instances of people being rejected later, even after they're won. They can be rejected because they don't have patronymic name, or actually they have it here, but they don't have it in international passport. And you can say, oh yeah, I have it on my other documents, I can prove it. There are instances of this thing making a problem, and we want to create as frictionless process as possible. So if you can avoid it, then avoid it, okay? And the same about the card. If you're paying with a banking card, make sure the name is the same. It's your name, not your friend's name, not your mother's, father's. Just use your own card, okay? That's just another point of friction, which may or may not be a problem. Okay, all the rest pretty easy. So gender, male and female, I think it's quite self-explanatory. You know, in the United States these days, there's more freedom. Actually, there was with Joe Biden. You could choose whatever you want to be. You could put X on your gender. With Donald Trump, the world went back to more understandable format, I guess, for most people, male and female. So I have a feeling you won't have problems here. Right, birthday, day, month, year. Well, it's actually in reverse because in the US, you usually go month, day, year. So just don't mix it up. Again, day, month, year. So that's how you go. So the way you are born here, I recommend to put the exact lettering of that city when you were born. If your city changed names, and actually what happened to my city where I was born, I put the exact name of the city when you were actually born there. Because if you ever need to prove anything, then you'll have your birth certificate, which will have that old spelling of the name of that city. So keep that in mind, okay? Moving on, country where you're born, I think it's self-explanatory where you're born. Just if you live right now in Dubai, but you're born in Bangladesh, then that's what you need to put there. Okay, then are you applying on the country where you're born, yes or no? Usually it's a yes, even though you may live in Dubai. There are certain instances you can apply on a different country if you're married, if you change passport. But for 99% of the people, you will be applying on the country where you were born because most countries are legal to play here, so it's not a problem. Okay, all right, moving on. A photo is not too complicated. It's 5x5, 1x1, or square, whatever you want to call it. Come to any bureau where they make pictures and they know exactly how to do it. It has to be normal, soft background. You have your shoulders have to be visible, your face, and then you can check your photo in this photo tool if it's accepted or not. Again, not too complicated, but I suggest you to refresh your photo. If it looks a little bit old, just go and refresh the photo. It should not be such a big problem. Mailing address is important, but not entirely. Meaning you will not get any notifications if you want. You need to go to this exact website and actively check in May next year if you want or not. You're not going to be getting any emails or physical mails that you want. So they don't do that. You need to go check yourself. Okay, moving on. Country where you live today, well, pretty self-explanatory. Again, this is why I don't recommend you to pay any other agencies to do it for you because it's pretty simple. A lot of people are afraid of the language maybe, but come on, what are you talking about? You plan to move to the United States, you should be able to do all this by yourself. Again, just practice. And you can go along with this video, not too complicated. Phone number, put the most actual phone number. You might get some messages on it, but maybe this year, but usually you don't. But again, it's optional. Same for email address. It's not like you're going to be getting a lot of information on the email, but put the one which you actually use, right? So it's still kind of important. Who knows what's going to be next year? Highest level of education you have actually achieved. Now, do not project. If you are in the middle of your education right now, if you're in the middle of your bachelor, don't put bachelor. Put only what you have actually finished, and that's very important. In my particular case, it's master's degree, but if I was in the middle of it, I was about to finish it maybe. But I need to put this moment of application. So I would put maybe some graduate level courses or something like that. Again, have to be truthful with this answer. What's your current marital status? Are you married or not? Look, if you had a wife or husband but you're divorced now, you should not put that you are unmarried. You should put that you are divorced. If your husband or wife passed away, died unfortunately, then you should put widowed. Yes, it's a weird claim for your whole life that maybe 10 years ago you were married, but now you have to put that you are divorced or widowed. So it is what it is. Married and my spouse is not US citizen or US citizen. Okay, that is quite important. A number of children, again, also something to think about. They have to be under 21. If you're older gentleman or gentlewoman and your children, you have maybe 3 children who are 22, 25, 27 years old, you put 0 here. It has to be under 21. So in a way that they are dependent to you. It's not that 21-year-olds are dependent usually on their parents, but you understand the point. Again, you put 0 if they are above 21, and you put actual number if they are below. They're actual dependents, or as we say here, derivatives, right? Here's the spouse name, similar information for your spouse, and then your spouse, when she applies, will also put your name in this exact section, right about the same. Okay, that's about your child number 1. If you put 3 children, you will have child number 2, number 3. I guess it's up to you to decide which one is number 1, number 2. Just don't show it to your children, and pretty self-explanatory. Once again, you don't put the middle name unless there is actually stated middle name in the international passport. For most people, it's not, so do not put it there. That's an important quirk they have, but that's what it is, all right? Gender, male, female, I guess it's understandable. City, I will say it again, it's important that you write the name of the city exactly as it's written in the birth certificates, even if the name was changed a few times after. I suggest you to put the exact name of it when you were born. Okay, country where you're born, child photograph. Photograph is about the same, it follows same structure as for you. There are instances when your child may be disabled and those are the things, and I have clients who have this situation. Well, in this particular case, just do as best as you can and just hope. I don't know, there's not much else you can do. Even if they may disqualify your application if they don't like a picture, but again, it's a lottery. Out of like what, millions and millions of people, 55,000 people actually get to come to the United States. So don't look at this application as something which will change your life. It might, but it most likely will not for most people. That's it, guys. That's as simple as it gets. I will repeat again. You go to the official website, which is dvprogram.state.gov. I don't recommend you to go to any other fake or helper website. It's very common. Also, you'll get a PDF in the end. Save it as a PDF. Make a picture of your confirmation number. Save it somewhere. It's very important because if you ever use help from someone, they may sometimes withhold it from you and then sell it back to you in May next year. That's no one case. So that is pretty much it, guys. If you disagree on some points with me in this form, then please write down in the comments. And if you are watching this video, I suggest you to check the comments in case someone corrected me on something, but I don't think I made any mistakes here. I'm pretty certain on anything. But again, just to be sure, check the comments as well. For this video, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in investing in the American stock market or simply immigration, not just the United States, but globally, you can talk to me directly and check my services in the links below. That's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Have an absolutely beautiful day and good luck.